the year following that incident, Brian here with Old Town Cycles decided to kick off a memorial ride in Chris's honor. I personally didn't know Chris. Brian did. He worked on motorcycles for the motor unit in Prince William, so I knew him through that. Brian kicked this off and asked if our club, Strength and Honor, would be willing to assist with it. And then we also brought some other organizations, other clubs here locally in that are public safety or military oriented, because not only was he a police officer, he was also a Marine.
Brian, you knew him. Talk about what he was like.
Oh, I've known these guys. I've dealt with Prince William for years, so they would come in and, a lot of times if it was getting ready to hail or something, they would call and say, can we come in the bay and just get out of the hail for a second?
Yeah.
So I dealt with Chris for years. It was probably 2 weeks prior that he had come in and we had worked on his bike, and then he dropped off, came in, worked on his wife's bike. But like one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. I mean, if you met him, everybody knew him. You'd never even tell that he was in law enforcement at all. You'd almost think he was probably a preacher or something like that, because
Yeah.
he's just always smiling, always a nice guy. So kind of hard to lose. So
And so you came up with the idea of doing this to remember him.
to help, and especially with his family, because he left behind 3 kids, and they do have special needs. So this helps the family, and then on top of it, it also helps because we put a lot of. It's 100% donation, so it also goes to help other families of that have fallen officers, children, and they do a lot of stuff too, where they just get together and like they'll get the kids together so that they also know, the kids know that. They're not the only ones that have lost a parent in the line of duty,
This must be a pretty emotional ride for you every year.
First year was pretty rough, yeah, because that's when it really sinks in. But yeah, it's not easy. I deal with a lot of LE, and when you see what they go through, and then somebody is lost, it's not very easy to watch.
Brian, for you in doing these kind of things, even though you didn't know Chris, you know law enforcement well, and this must be something that I know that you jumped on and wanted to be part of.
Absolutely, it's a big deal for us. That's what our organization's all about: is remembering the fallen, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, whether it's in law enforcement or military service or fire, EMS. So it means a lot to us to be out here, to be able to continue to honor Chris's memory by helping his family out and helping those through donations to Law Enforcement United and so on, that help out the kids of other fallen officers and so on. So yeah, it's a big deal to us, and the other thing it does is brings awareness to the sacrifice that these folks make every day. And as you well know, the climate in our society right now and the feelings towards law enforcement aren't all that great. So anything that we can do to shine a positive light on what these folks are doing each and every day and show some appreciation is absolutely something we want to do.
Brian, if someone wants to get involved in this, what's the best way to get involved in this poker run?
Well, you can pre-register. So you can go to oldtowncycle.com and pre-register for the ride. And like I said, this is 100% donation. So it's none of it. And then you can also come in and register the day of, so it starts at 8 a.m. You will get a little bit of a break if you do the online registration.
And the event itself, what time do you head off? Where are you going?
It's going to be May 6th. It's going to start here, Old Town Cycle, 68 Cool Springs Road, Fredericksburg. And it's 8 to 10 a.m. And unlike some poker runs, everybody doesn't leave at once. So you're going to come in and you'll leave on your own. So from 8 to 10, you can come in and leave when you want. It takes a lot of time and effort to put this together. And this is the 5th year, we've raised over $32,000 so far. So it's a lot of money that comes up. I mean, there's an average about 200 riders.
Yeah, it's going to be a great ride out through the Virginia countryside. We'll have the Stafford Sheriff's Office here helping with folks entering and exiting the parking lot so they can do so safely. Representatives from the Law Enforcement United bicycle teams from Fredericksburg, Stafford, and Spotsylvania will be here on site. Probably be a cruiser here, so you can tape dollar bills to the cruiser, help that day to raise money for Law Enforcement United in that way as well. Beautiful route, and it's going to end out at Tim's 3 at Lake Anna.
talk to the person who's may never have done a poker ride and what you like about it, because I know you do a number of these.
So, poker run format, obviously you start out by drawing your cards at the first location, and then you go to several stops and end up at the last location. And we give out awards for best hand, worst hand. It's a neat thing, right? So you get to meet a whole bunch of new people, especially if you've never done a ride like this before, and potentially ride a route that you've never been on, because we try to, do things a little bit different, where we're not taking, major thoroughfares throughout the whole ride. And it's and we got a lot of good compliments on the ride last year, and we're doing the same route again this year.
It's an easy route for even an unexperienced rider, so we made it easy so it's not dangerous, because we obviously don't want an accident. We also do a lot of raffles. I mean, every year we get a lot of sponsorship from local businesses. Just like this year, we have all these businesses and all those raffles, so you can put in, in $25 or whatever, and you can win out of that. But there's a lot of businesses that also, which we want to thank, have helped sponsor it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and like Brian said, it's a poker run. It's at your own pace. It's not an escorted ride where everybody's leaving together. So if you don't like riding in a group, then you don't have to worry about that. You're on your own.